Gamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. May the Divine lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you, Atma Gyananandaji, for inviting me on this special year of celebration for the Silver Jubilee of the Vedanta Center of Greater Washington, D.C. And as you said, you feel happy to invite me. We all also feel very, very happy to come to this center. It's very special, not only in having the only place where Sri Ramakrishna is worshipped in his statue in the West, but very ambience and all the love of the devotees and monks, brahmachari, all are so wonderful here. So we all feel so happy, and even I recommend people to visit Washington, D.C. when they have to visit, because you have a place for guests to stay. And so nice arrangement, everything is so good. And people feel to have gone to pilgrimage. It's a pilgrimage, one of the center of pilgrimage for the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna in the West. So, as Swami Atmagyananji told, that the topic is Chandi and spiritual practice. Actually, I chose this topic because of Durga Puja. And beginning also we had this Mahishasura Mardini Stotram. Still Durga Puja is not over, it seems. Durga Puja continues, Divine Mother's worship continues, because today is the last day, tomorrow perhaps is Lakshmi Puja. So until Lakshmi Puja is there, we always say Happy Vijayadashami, Shubha Vijaya. This is allowed to extend for 4 or 5 days. So Chandi and spiritual practice. It seems Chandi, as we all know, in Bengal it's so popular to have this called Mahalaya or this Mahishasura Mardini Stotram on Mahalaya Day on radio. And it has been popular everywhere, and that is the story of how Devi comes, Durga gets embodied. And the story of Chandi, we all know that there is battle and a fight between the good and evil, between the Asuras and Devas, and a lot of this Devi in various forms. She just kills and vanquishes the Asuras in many forms. So there's a lot of battle and war and killing. Where is the spiritual message, it may seem? Where is the spiritual message for spiritual practice there? But the Chandi, which is a part of a mythological book called Markandeya Purana, there is a deep spiritual significance in its message of battle and war. The battle represents that battle goes within us. All this Madhukaitabha and Mahishasura and Shumbha and Nishumbha, they are not outside, they are all within us, all our enemies. And we have to, what is the Devi then? That is the divine power that we need to invoke to fight those and vanquish those, and the good in us, it becomes prominent and we conquer them. So that is the spiritual significance of Chandi. Represented as the story of a fight between Devas and Asuras. Is there a message for the seekers of truth in the popular book from the mythology, where the description of the embodiment of divine power is described, and stories of battle of gods with demons is narrated, where gods win the battle only with the help of embodied divine power named Durga. So Mother Durga we worship. There is a beautiful write-up on Durga by Swami Swahananda. I would like to read about Durga what he writes. Durga has been described as the Divine Mother, possessing the most beautiful figure, bedecked with jewels, and dresses. She is the great queen of the universe, as well as the loving mother. She is very tender, gentle, and sweet to those who approach her with childlike simplicity and surrender. She is terrible and indomitable to those who tyrannize others. She comes from Kailasha every year, accompanied by Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, and Saraswati, the goddess of learning. Also, Mother brings with her her two sons, Ganesha, the god of intelligence and wisdom, and Kartik, the god of strength and prowess. To her devotees, it is the most welcoming time of the year, the real mother coming to meet them. Durga has been worshipped by all devas and incarnations. Brahma Vaivarta Purana says that Sri Krishna worshipped Durga in Goloka. Shiva worshipped her when confronted by demon Tripura. Brahma worshipped her when attacked by demons Madhu and Kaitava. Indra worshipped her when cursed by Durvasa. The Bhagavata says that Rukmini worshipped Durga to obtain Krishna as her husband. Tulsi Ramayana says Sita worshipped Durga to obtain Rama as her husband. In the Mahabharata, Sri Krishna exhorts Arjuna to worship Mother Durga before the Kurukshetra war. In the Rig Veda, Taittiriya Aranyaka, Devi Upanishad, and Devi Purana, the significance of the name Durga is mentioned as one who rescues her devotees in times of danger, despondency, and difficulties. The Mahanarayana Upanishad prays to Durga like this: I take refuge in her, the goddess Durga, who is fiery in luster and radiant with ardency, who is the power belonging to the Supreme, who manifests herself manifoldly, who is the power residing in actions and their fruits, rendering them efficacious. O thou goddess, skilled in saving, thou takest us across difficulties exceedingly well. Our salutations to thee. Durga is born of the collected powers of the Devas. Her 10 hands cover all directions and all aspects of life. The Bodhana worship of awakening the goddess is nothing but the awakening of the sleeping divinity within the worshipper, or the coiled power of the yogis. The Bilva tree, where she is besieged to dwell, is really a symbol of the Sushumna canal, the path of Kundalini. Navapatrika, made of various plants, represents her presence in everything. In her worship, water from various rivers of India is used, which signifies the unity of the land. Variety of articles, both good and bad, are used, signifying the even-sightedness of the mother for good and bad. This is what Swami Swahananda wrote about Mother Durga in brief and so beautifully he described. Also it is said that Rama, incarnation of God, when he had to fight Ravana, felt himself not equal. Ravana was so brave. Until he had the blessing of Mother Durga with him. And he worshipped Durga. Actually, this Bodhana thing, as it is said, awakening Mother Durga, it is said that Durga was lying dormant, sleepy in this time. Real Durga Puja was in the fall time, was in the springtime, Chaitra. This was not the autumn, was not the Durga Puja time. So Rama invoked Mother Durga from her slumber, and she awoke and blessed him. That's why it is called Akala Bodhana, being awakened not when it is not time yet. So that's what the Bodhana is called. So everyone needed Durga's blessing for their success, their victory. Durga Puja has been the worship of Divine Mother to win victories. It used to be done only by the kings and rich persons in the past. Nowadays it's done collectively. It's called Barawadi Durga Puja. And the main story of Durga is how Durga, she blesses and we gain whatever we need in life. As in the Vedas, there are prayers to give us the grains and the rains and the children and the progeny. All this is praised and their oblation is to put in fire. Later on that was replaced by Durga Puja. To achieve something you need to propitiate the Divine Mother, the Shakti in the form of Durga. When she is pleased, only success will come. That has been the tradition of Sanatana Dharma. So this Durga represents Shakti, worship of Shakti. That is said in the Chandi. You know, the story of Chandi begins by a king who was ousted from his kingdom after he was defeated by his enemy's attack. And when he was defeated, no one was there on his side. He became alone. All the people, ministers, army, all were taken over by the conqueror king. So to save his life, he ran to the forest, far away from his kingdom. And in the forest, he found a hermitage. He went there and he was welcomed. It was the hermitage of the sage called Medhas. He used to live in the forest and was a great sage of great knowledge. There he met another person who also lost his all trade and was betrayed by his own family. And to save his life, he went to the forest and he saw that hermitage of the saint, Medhas, and had been there. And they both came. The problem was they were ready to accept this misfortune that came in their life. The problem they faced was all those they gave him trouble and ousted, they were thinking about those people. They couldn't sleep at night. What happened to my family? What happened to my kingdom? How is my elephant and stable? Like that, they were all thinking about kingdom and his business and his family members who had banished them from there. It was very strange. Why we are worrying for someone who really don't love us? What is the reason? They approached Rishi next day and said, we have one question. How is it that we have been so ill-treated and yet we worry for them? That questioning thing. Not that they were worrying and we'll meet again and why did this and not that. But they had this question in mind. Very rational, logical thinking they had. They should not think for those who didn't care for them. But why this worry comes? So Medhas Muni then described to them, it is by the power of Divine Mother, Mahamaya, that everything you are deluded. In her power, there is knowledge and there is also delusion. There is attachment and there is freedom. In her power, this Mahamaya, then asked, who is this Mahamaya? She is the great enchantress and great redeemer. Both qualities there. And then he told the story of Shakti Mahamaya. And that becomes the Chandi. Where he says, there is the story that Medas Rishi is describing that how Shakti manifested thrice in the history. And the 3 times it is called 3 books or 3 charita. Prathama Charita, the first chapter, first division or first book. Madhyama Charita, the second book. And Uttama Charita, the third and last book. In the Chandi itself. In the Prathama Charita, or the first book or first division, the Medas Muni tells the story of creation and how Mahamaya had to play a role there. And he says there were demons. He talks about demon Madhu and Kaitava. And he says in the beginning, when Vishnu was lying down asleep, the protector, from his navel came out a lotus flower. In the Vishnu, that is what the mythological way to say. The Brahma comes out, the lotus on which Brahma is seated comes out from the navel of Vishnu. And Brahma created, and everywhere it was all waters, nothing else, no land was there. And when this Brahma was created, Vishnu was asleep. Time for creation had come. Creation is a cyclic process. It comes and again it dissolves. So after dissolution, when there was only water, only thing remaining was Vishnu lying in the serpent bed, Sheshanaga. This is also symbolical Shesham, and that means remains. The Ishvara in the form of Vishnu remains. Everything is deluged, nothing is there. And from this Shesha, whatever remains, that is Vishnu. Comes Brahma, 4-faced, red, bright, divine being, the creator, the full of knowledge, who wields the Vedas. All Vedas are with him. So that Brahma, when he was created, creation, along with the creation of Brahma, there were 2 demons were created. They were Madhu and Kaitava. How this creation is. Knowledge, radiance, creator, and immediately comes the destroyer, dull, tamashika someone, who is going to kill, destroy. The Madhu and Kaitava, demon and God created at the same time. Swami Vivekananda says, our world is exactly like that, mixture of good and bad. If you want to straighten it up and say only good will prevail, sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya. There is no problem in praying that way. Once we had a retreat in some outside, in some place here in Washington, and there Swami Atmagyana had said, I remember still, that we pray that everyone should be happy, everyone should be good. But is that possible in the world? That is not possible, it won't happen, because the creation is a mixture of good and evil. But we need to pray that way. We need to think of having goodness in the world prevailing one day. That is our part. Always thinking good about the good of others, we become good. So, Swami Vivekananda says it is a mixture of good and bad. Sri Ramakrishna himself says there are nice plants, beautiful sweet fruits, and also there are poisonous plants. So all are created by God. So how this Madhu and Kaitava created from sleeping Vishnu? It says they came from the dirt from the ear of Vishnu, dropped in water, and they took the form of very ferocious 2 demons. They were swimming in the water, very strong, ferocious, big, huge. Very origin is from the dirt. And when they were swimming, they went away and they saw suddenly a bright red, some being there. They then came, that was Brahma. Only that was there in the universe, nothing was there, all was water around. So they then started swimming towards Brahma with the desire to eat Brahma, to finish, destroy, eat. That is Asura. The very thing they want to destroy, any good thing, no way they can think of. And when Brahma saw that they are coming them to destroy, he prayed to Vishnu. Vishnu, wake up, because Vishnu was his genesis. From him he came. He called Vishnu loudly, not very far from Vishnu though. He was on the lotus. He didn't come and shake Vishnu, even if Vishnu would not wake up, even that. So he prayed to Vishnu. Vishnu was in sleep, deep sleep. So in our language he was snoring. So then what will happen? How will he be protected? And this Madhu and Kaitava are coming closer and closer, with mouth wide open to eat him up. After that, when nothing works, then what? Then Divine Mother, Holy Mother said, whenever you have faced problem and are not able to solve, remember that you have a mother. Always say to yourself that I have a mother. I will be present there and solve your problem. Problem insurmountable, solution Divine Mother. So Brahma also knew this. She started praying. That's beautiful. Tvam swaha, tvam sada, tvam hi vasatkara swaratmika. He praises the Divine Mother. Mother, you are all in all. You are all powerful. I am in so much danger. Now please wake up Vishnu. That was his thing, prayer. Vishnu is deep slumber. If he was woke up, he would have destroyed, because Vishnu is meant to protect the creation and give light to the creation, created beings, to the right path. But Vishnu is asleep. So when he said that, after long prayer, Mother was pleased and Vishnu woke up. And Vishnu woke up and he saw the things and he understood, oh, there is danger. Then he started fighting with this Madhu and Kaitav, his own creation from his own ear. And the story says, the Chandi says, the fight went on and on for thousands of years. And Vishnu, the powerful divine incarnation, one of the holy trio, he could not conquer them. Then what will happen? It was never ending. Then somehow Mother now deluded this Madhu and Kaitav. And Madhu and Kaitav, they said, oh Vishnu, we are very happy with you. You could fight with us for thousands of years. Now ask a boon of us. This Asura demon are saying to Vishnu to ask a boon. What is your wish? So much of pride. When there is tamas, they represent, this Madhu and Kaitav represent tamas, the tamasika Asura. And then the pride comes. In the pride they said like that. They forgot who are they, from where they originated, who is Vishnu, nothing, no idea. When we are too much egotistic, we tend to forget all surrounding situation. The gratitude is not there. We think we all became the position we got by ourselves. That is a sign of pride. You don't consider any being, any gratitude, any thankfulness is not there. So that happened to this deluded by Mahamaya. Then Vishnu said, okay, you want me to ask something of you? Then I want you to be dead. I want to kill you. Then Vishnu killed them. They said, but not in water. He put in the thigh and killed them. That's how this Madhu and Kaitav were killed. And Brahma was saved to create us. So we are created by the power of that Brahma. So this is the first division or first book of Chandi called Prathama Charita. Madhu and Kaitav represent the tamasika aspect of Asura. As there are devotees, Sri Ramakrishna says, the devotees also have three aspects. Some are tamasika bhakti, devotion, tamasika bhakti and rajasika bhakti and sattvika bhakti, Sri Ramakrishna says. Tamasika bhakti is forcing mother. Mother, you will have to give me that. That is tamasika bhakti. Rajasika Bhakti, pomp and grandeur and big, huge puja and wants name and fame. People will see me, what type of puja I did, and they will praise, and mother will be happy, I will gain name and fame. That's called Rajasika Bhakti. Tamas, that Sattvika Bhakti is a person even do not know that he prays, like Latu Maharaj. What Sattvika Bhakti? He used to sleep in daytime. And night time there used to be, whole night he used to do japam in Varanagar Math. And he doing mala, there would be sound. Brother disciples thought, what sound is this? Some mouse is running here and there, or what is the thing, what comes? And that was haunted house. They were little afraid, and whenever they put the light on, sounds off. Latu Maharaj lying, nobody knows what is happening. One day they put the wick low and didn't put off the lantern. Wick low, and as soon as they heard the sound at midnight, they quickly rose. And there was Latu Maharaj sitting on his bed inside the mosquito net and doing mala. Nobody knows. That is the Sattvika Bhakti. Nobody knows what stage he is. Unlettered, illiterate, very rustic appearing, but was a great sage. Great. Sri Ramakrishna had blessed him. He couldn't utter very first alphabet of Bengali, he couldn't learn that, but in time, Vedas and knowledge will come out from a mouth. That is, he said. So Vedas and Upanishad, and exactly that happened. So these Sattvika demons are also like that. They were very Tamasika demon. That is the story of Surata Raja and sage Medhas. How he started about the Mahamaya. Let me read you here again about the story of this Chandi. When we study the cases of Surata and Samadhi, both were well placed in their lives, but met with reverses of fortune. They were let down by their near and dear ones. We can take some lessons from their anecdotes. Grief over the past and anxiety for the future take away most of our energy and time. We know it is futile to grieve about something in the past that cannot be retrieved. Worry is the greatest problem. This worry has been real or imaginary. It is a matter of habit and needs to be broken. To do that, one must empty the mind of all anxieties and fears, suffuse it with the divine, and cultivate positive thoughts. The cause of worry is attachment. And so the religious method is to practice non-attachment. Fill the mind with thoughts of God and surrender to her completely. Both the king Surata and the merchant Samadhi were introspective. So they discovered by themselves the real root cause of the trouble was their lack of control over their minds. If they had been the masters of their minds, they could have been free from meaningless attachment. Self-control is the only means to gain mastery over the reactions of the mind. But one cannot achieve it overnight. When one hits rock bottom, he painfully realizes that it is impossible for him to gain mastery over the reactions of the mind. Then he starts looking for a guide or a guru or a person of mature wisdom for guidance. A piteous cry issued forth from the agonized soul of supplication to the Divine Mother. She sends a proper guide who directs him towards self-realization. This very thing happened to the king and the merchant. With utter helplessness and agony of the soul, they went to the forest and found the great sage Medhas, who became their teacher. Which path did Vedas show them? Vedas informed them that the cause of uncontrollable attachment was the deluding aspect of the Divine Mother. She creates attachment which is vigorous and blind, so that the world process might go on. But when the soul, after experiencing the sweet and bitter fruits, becomes tired, then it seeks final liberation. Vedas advised, O great king, take refuge in her, the supreme goddess. She indeed, when worshipped, bestows on men enjoyment, heaven, and final release from transmigration. Both Surata and Samadhi practiced severe austerities to please the Divine Mother. She then offered boons to them according to their wishes, one boon granting sovereignty of the universe, and the other final realization. Thus the Devi, according to the Chandi, grants both material and spiritual fruits, bhukti and mukti. This was also from Swami Swahananda ji. So, after this first chapter, first book of the Chandi, then we come to the second book. In the second division or second book, there is Mahishasura. There is the embodiment of Mother Durga. That Mahishasura, a demon very powerful, he attacks heaven, the gods lose their seats, position and place, and who will help them? They run to Shiva and Vishnu, both go to Brahma. They cannot do anything. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara are powerless. Mahishasura had become so powerful, demoniac power had become so vigorous. Now to conquer this, when Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Mahadeva, the three together cannot vanquish Mahishasura, so powerful, then again rescuer is the Divine Mother. They all met at a place with all other gods, and the power of God, they emanated from them and gathered at a place in front of them. And that huge power that took a shape of a woman, divine woman, and that is Durga, whose face was given, the face of that Devi Durga came from Shiva, and the arms from Vishnu, and feet from Brahma, like that. It all happened. For Yama gave her the hair, and sun gave her the brilliance of the skin, like that, different thing. And then weapons were given to her by gods, Trishula by Shiva, and discussed by Vishnu, like that. The Devi Durga was created by the collective power of goodness to beat the lower thing, the demoniac thing. So, this Mahishasura was a big trouble. In that, now when Devi was thus created, she did a big laughter, attahasa they call, and Mahishasura heard this. He trembled. First time Mahishasura was afraid, never heard such terrible woman voice, laughter. He found it is something different from that what I have seen. And the challenge happened, and then Mahishasura finally came to a fight with the Devi. Mahishasura among the demon represents the Rajasika demon, Rajasika power of the demon, because he wanted to conquer all and have name and fame and the kingdom over the heaven, but his kingdom will last forever. And he came to the Divine Mother to vanquish and defeat her, so that he can regain his position in the heaven, Indra's heaven. Indra's heaven is the seat of all gods. Vayu, Varuna, Yama, all those give us and sustain us. the air, god of air, god of water, god of death also lives there. All they were in trouble. So we need all. So after that, mother was to rescue and remove Mahishasura from there. So then Mahishasura came to fight, and he had the power to change his forms. So he came first in the shape of a buffalo, a strong, wild buffalo, and mother killed that with the sword. Then he took the form, after being killed, he took the form of a lion. Then lion was killed. And then he took the form of demon, the human form. That was killed. It's still Mahishasura is not dead. See how difficult to remove these demons, all these impurities in us. Very difficult to get rid of. We need very powerful Durga there. If mother is invoked and she is awakened in our heart, only that is the way we can conquer our impurities in the form of Mahishasura. Then demon was killed, an elephant came out of it. And big, huge elephant, powerful. Then mother killed elephant also, still not dead. Then again buffalo comes. Now second buffalo, Mahisha, and then mother cuts his head with the sword. And again then when demon was coming out, last time, again the human form, demon. Then mother then kills him with the help of trident, putting the trident in its heart. With so much of trouble, we can conquer the weakness and impurity in us by the power of divine. This is the message of Mahishasura and Mahishasura Mardini. That Mahishasura Mardini or Durga has to be invoked in us. And Swami Vivekananda said, Durga of the story is born as the living goddess, living Durga, Jyanto Durga, Holy Mother. That if she is invoked, she is Durga and Kali and Lakshmi. Vaikunta hote Lakhi elo. Lakshmi came from Vaikunta in the form of Holy Mother, Jyanto Durga of Swami Vivekananda, and Sri Ramakrishna said, I see you as the mother which I worship in the temple as Mother Kali. So Kali, Lakshmi, Durga all together. So if gods has to come together and meet, and then light and energy emanated from them to take the form of Durga, for us it is much easy. Just we have to pray, Mother, please come and protect. I am not able to overcome this problem in my life, in my mind. So Mother, come. And Mother will be there to help us, to show us the way and to guide us. And we can feel that. There have been many stories when the people remembered our Holy Mother, Ma Sharada, and the problem was solved. I know the story of a monk, and he said that he had gone to a new country, only one, and where people do not speak English, and there was no money even to pay the taxes, and there was no friend from which he could loan. Just he had come a few weeks ago, and to his surprise he found there was no money in the bank. Then what to do? Then he prayed to Mother, Ma Sarada. Mother, what to do? I don't know. I'm at a loss. How to save this ashram? I have no power, no way, no clue. After he prayed and sat down quietly, one ring bells, opens the door, one person comes, that local person comes, who was not a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, and he says, I find you are here for a few weeks. I'm curious how you meet the things, expenses. So, do you need some money? He said, yes. And he wrote a check. Person who is not known to Sri Ramakrishna's ideals, doesn't know the Swami, doesn't know Vedanta. And he writes a check of huge amount in that village. And that solves. It is the prayer of that Swami himself told the story. His prayer to Holy Mother. Now question comes, does Holy Mother not know what we need? She knows, but we need to pray. Then again the awakening is like that. If we pray, we will get the fruits quickly. If we do not pray, we will get the fruits, if we trust and have faith in her. But it may take time. There has been many cases. It is the case of a monk, but there is a story of a devotee who was going from Calcutta to Toronto, and he had to change the plane in London. And going first time abroad, he didn't know that he needs two boarding passes. He had one boarding pass for London, and they didn't give him boarding pass from London to Toronto that time, very much earlier when computers were not there. And he comes there and he goes to boarding, and they say, "Where is the boarding pass?" He says, "No, I don't know about the boarding pass. Go to the counter and boarding pass." Heathrow is such a huge airport. 10 minutes, 15 minutes from the gate of boarding to the counter. He goes there rushing, and the time was already on. People were lining up to board the plane. He goes there, and then while coming back, he was asking, "Where is the gate I have to go?" He was worried, alone. And then they said somehow go there. And in the meantime, he was going to the boarding gate, and he suddenly found he left his boarding pass, new boarding pass somewhere. Came to the boarding gate near. No boarding pass. Then where he lost it, he remembered, I had gone to ask that shop. He ran there, and he finds no one is there, neither his boarding pass. Now he prayed to the Holy Mother. "Mother, my going to Canada is gone. He just brought me up to London, no way out." And he said that, and he saw one person is walking in front of him with that boarding pass in his hand. He had gone to find this person. He ran there and he picked the boarding pass even without saying, and said, "It's for me," and ran to the boarding. And now it was so late, half an hour late, more than half an hour late. He thought my plane would have gone. And fortunately, he found his plane was there. It was delayed. All her action. Not that she gave trouble to all the passengers because of them. We cannot think that way. But we can think of only her grace for that. That is the power of Holy Mother. Many stories are there like that. Many stories you will hear. So the third, this is how the Mahishasura was vanquished, a Rajasika demon, because he wanted name and fame, and still that has to be vanquished. The third division of Chandi is called Shumbha Nishumbha Bad. So Shumbha and Nishumbha is supposed to be Sattvika demon. They are demon, no doubt, but Sattvika. They somehow they wanted mother. May not be in the right way, but not the name and fame. They wanted mother herself. So but the process was wrong and the idea was wrong. But Shumbha and Nishumbha were also very powerful. Shumbha was the king, Nishumbha was his brother and a powerful person. And then what happened? These were also giving trouble to kings. The third story of the Chandi. And again, they went to Brahma, and Brahma said, "Go and pray to Parvati in the Himalayas." They prayed to Parvati with all the prayers that we find of Parajita Stuti. And then Parvati appears in the form of a human being, and he says, "We are in this trouble, Mother, please save us." And she then, hearing the story, from her comes Chandika, the powerful woman. Parvati is just a human being. From her comes the Chandika, powerful women who could fight this Asura, also known as Kaushiki. From this Ambika, then they found a person of very great beauty is there. So these generals of the Shumbha and Nishumbha, known as Chanda and Munda, they saw this lady and went back to the Shumbha and says, "You had everything good in the world. You should have this lady also." So they come there, and he sends one representative, Dhumra Lochana. His one representative he sent Sugriva. And they say, "My king, who is now ruling the heaven, wants you to be in her position." He said, "But I have promised that whoever conquers me, only I will go with him. He has to come and fight. That is the thing I've said." So mother says he has to fight. And then he goes and says this. Then Shumbha sends Dhumra Lochana, very significant name, whose lochana, whose eyes are covered with dhumra, is, it is blurred with the smoke. That is the name of Dhumra Lochana. He cannot see the things nicely. He doesn't recognize the Divine Mother and gives this and comes to fight with her. He was killed. Then this Shumbha sends Shumbha sends Chanda and Munda to fight, his commander-in-chief, his generals. And they were heavy, these ferocious fighters. And from mother comes a very ferocious fighter, Kali, dark in complexion, great fighter, destroyer of creation like that. Destroyer whatever bad in creation, that is Kali. And this she kills this Chanda and Munda. And when Chanda and Munda is killed, she gives the head to our Chandika, and she gives, because you did such a great work, you will call Chamunda. That was the name given because of her victory over Chanda and Munda. The Chamunda and Kali is same. Chamunda iti katyate. When we worship Sandhi Puja during Durga Puja time, we are worshipping Mother Chamunda there. We are worshipping Mother Kali there. It is deviated from Durga Puja. All the mantras, all the articles there are all for Kali Puja. That's why there is Bali and everything is that way. So, Mother Chamunda is worshipped. Kali is worshipped. This meditation mantra is also like that. Then comes this Shumbha now sends one, in their army was one Rakta Bija. He comes, he starts fighting with mother, and mother kills, blood falls. Every drop of mother, his blood produces one Rakta Bija. From Rakta Bija become many Rakta Bija. So it is difficult. Then the Chandika brings forth Kalika, and the Kalika then eats up all the blood. It doesn't fall on the ground. And that's why Rakta Bija was vanquished. So this is all to say for us that problems in life may multiply many times. And when they come, we need not be worried, like Parvati becoming this Chandika, and from Chandika coming out the Kali, and Kali taking up all the things. Things will be solved. No worries, no anxieties. Divine Mother is with us. So this is the spiritual significance that the Chandi gives for us. And when they were fighting, then comes Shumbha's, all the army he sent. Then from mother came out 4 Astamatrika, 8 women fighters. And then this Shumbha came alone after that. All were vanquished Shumbha. The Shumbha was alone, and mother had 8 of her companions, Astamatrika, named Maheshwari, Brahmani, Maheshwari, Vaishnavi, Kaumari, Aindri, Varahi, Narasinghi, and Shivaduti. All are powers of gods. And then Shumbha says, this is not right. I am alone and you are so many people. How will I conquer? Because they were all powerful. Then mother said, where do you see so many? And that beautiful verse in the Chandi comes, Eko vaham jagat sarvam dvitiyaka mamapara. I am the only one in this universe. Where do you find second? Advaita. The message of Advaita is there in Chandi, in the Tantra book. And only mother is the one who has created, has become all this. Wonderful thing of this story is, even the demons are created by mother. By the will of mother, the demons come. In Durga Puja, surprisingly, we worship all mother and Ganesha and Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kartika. And we also worship Mahishasura. While doing Homa, I said in Toronto just 2 days ago, I said, Mahishasuraya Swaha. One lady while having prasadi caught me. Swami, you said Mahishasuraya Swaha. He is the mother's all problem created by him, and why you offer oblation to Mahishasura? I said, that is the tradition. He is worshipped with all articles. In Belur Math, they do with 16 articles, as they do to Ganesh and Kartika, they do that way. And it is said in the mantra that Mahishasura is the form of Rudra, very powerful, very valorous, who could fight the Devi herself for so many days because of her valor. And also, the mother is the creator of good and bad, accept all in this life. This is the spiritual message that we get from the Chandi, that good and bad will be there. But mother will always be here to protect us. So this Shakti worship is very important for us. This Shakti is, we worship Shakti and also we want to realize Shakti. Shakti in Vedanta is called, which creator is accepted. The creation comes because of Maya. In Tantra, it's called Mahamaya. Maya is delusion and it just makes us, dilutes us. But Mahamaya is not only deluding power, it is also power, delivering power. It also gives us emancipation. It is both ways. So Mahamaya is that way in Tantra. Sri Ramakrishna said, when you are born as a human being, you are under the domain of Divine Mother. To have the mukti or to make yourself transformed into a spiritual being, the only way is, the best way is to propitiate the Divine Mother. And when Mother is propitiated, you will she will get aside from the way and you will see the truth. And Mother can grant you that release. And there are so many beautiful songs. Mother becomes so happy if someone is released by her own will. Otherwise, she wants play to go on. This is just the play, divine play going on. So, in Chandi, there are many beautiful verses are there. One like, why there is so much Rupang Dehi, Jayan Dehi, Yasho Dehi, Dusho Jahi. Give me good looks and give me Rupa and give me victory, or Yasho, give me name and fame, and remove, kill my enemies. Why this type of prayer in a book you call spiritually helpful? Our Swami Tathagatananda used to recite Chandi every day. For her spiritual, he was a very spiritual person. He used to read Chandi not for himself, but to release that vibration for the good of the world. He was a very highly acclaimed soul. So, then the prayer Arupan Dehi, Jayang Dehi, Yasho Dehi, Disho Jahi. So this is also, according to Chandi, there are three kinds of devotees. For tamasic devotees, they will say, give me good looks, and give me conquest in the battle of the world, and I may get success in the things. Yasho Dehi, give me fame so that I conquer that, and Dusho Jahi, destroy my enemies. Simple bhakta, they will pray to Mother because they are bhakta. As Sri Krishna says, 4 types of devotees: Arto, Jigyasu, Artharthi, Jnani. So Artha, he is worshipping Mother, but this is Tamashika. And what will be Rajasika Bhakta? He will say Rupang Dehi, and he will say Rupa in the sense of strength of the mind. Give me strength of mind so that I can get success in the obstacles in my sadhana. That is what Jayan Dehi. Jaya is that. Give me strength of mind so that I can do that. Yasho Dehi, give me little fame. Not that fame of having the things worked out. Fame in the right sense. Dusho Jahi, it will say, remove the obstacles from my path. That is the prayer of a Rajasika Bhakta. What will be Sattvika Bhakta's thing? Rupang Dehi is, Mother, may I meditate on your sweet divine form. Is Rupam your form? I should meditate. And Jayan Dehi, may I conquest in the battle of spiritual practice. So difficult. May I have the conquest there. That is Jayan Dehi. And Yasho Dehi, Yasa is, may I be known as the devotee of God, a child of Mother. Thakur said, no, be proud to be a devotee of God. Have that girt, I am a devotee of God. We also say, be proud to be a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. I don't tell a lie. I am a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. I don't hate anyone. I am a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. I will not be fallen into the trap of greed. I am a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. And you think I will get angry? I can conquer anger. I am mother's child. Holy Mother is with me. Like that is the pride of being the child of these. That is the Dvisho Jahi. So Dvisho Jahi will be destroyer of three kinds of fruits. This we have this Prarabdha, Kriyamana and Sanchita. All these three things should be destroyed for a Sattvika devotee. No more rebirth, liberation. That message is given by the book Chandi for spiritual seekers. Chandi is meant for inspiring people to attain the highest by accepting the Divine Mother and her play. That's why it says beautifully at the prayer, Saisha prasanna varada nrinam bhavati muktaye. When she is pleased, at some places it says, if she is pleased, rogan aseshan apahangsitusta. If she is pleased, all your diseases will be removed. What disease? The greatest disease is the bhavaroga, not the physical disease, but bhavaroga, thinking this real world to be real, getting attached to it. It will be removed if she is pleased. Rogan aseshan apahangsitusta rustatu kaman sakalan abhistan apahangsi. If she is displeased with what we do, what she doesn't want us to do, then what will happen? Sakalan abhistan apahangsi. All the things that we wish to gain, that will all go. We want spiritual growth. We want good of others. All will not happen because she is displeased, because we are not following the spiritual, the guidance that Mother wants us to follow. So that is said in one verse. In another verse it is said, Saisha prasanna varada nrinam bhavati muktaye. When she is pleased, the human beings will be freed from the bondage of ignorance. That we pray to Divine Mother, Durga, in the form of our dearest Holy Mother. Mother, be pleased with us and always protect us from evil and our weaknesses and impurities of our mind. Please remove that, and may we attain the freedom from bondage, freedom from ignorance, and freedom from finding defects in others, faults in others, judging others. May we be able to love all and be devoted to the lotus feet of our Ishta by your grace. Thank you very much.
Maharaj, it was really a very beautiful talk. Yeah. Swamiji used to say that every religion, it needs its philosophy and it needs a little bit of ritual, but it has to have its mythology also, that we appreciate these very subtle things and understand them in a different way through all of these beautiful stories. So Maharaj, very wonderful talk. We're looking forward to tomorrow. It'll be a similar topic, the forms of the Divine Mother. That'll be at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then at 12, we'll stop and have a half hour of question and answer. So we'll do it as usual. People can write things down and Maharaj can answer them. Now we invite everyone to join us for some food in the basement. And again, Maharaj, very, very wonderful talk. Thank you so much.